I read a lot of books. My mom got me hooked on reading when I was a kid. As a 5th grader, I was reading over 800 words per minute. I read all kinds of books. Comic books, of course, were my favorite. I read the newspaper, especially the sports section. I read fiction books, non-fiction books, self-help books, even encyclopedias. There was one book I did not read very much though, the Bible. Sure, it had great stories and poetry in it. It even had books inside that told the future. For some reason though, every time I would start to read it, I would not be able to keep going. I would make it through the stories of Jesus or of the creation, but I got bogged down in all the begats and begots and thous and wherefores. As a young adult, I would read my Bible lesson each week at church, and I was sincere about my love for God, but I still didn't read the Bible. In my 40s, though, God made a change in me. A pastor challenged me to read 5 Psalms a day and a proverb every day. Since there were 150 Psalms and 31 Proverbs, that would mean I would read the entire book of Psalms and Proverbs every month. I took the challenge, and I failed. I wanted to give up. I kept trying to read the Bible because I felt like I had to please God, almost as if reading more would make God love me more. That's just not true. God offers His intimate love to me and to you through the death of His Son, Jesus Christ. When I finally understood that, something clicked. I started wanting to read the Bible. I went back to reading a proverb every day and 5 Psalms every day. I made it through the first month. I kept it that way for 6 months. Then I started thinking, I want to read some other stuff. So I threw in a chapter in Matthew, then went on to Mark and Luke and John and Acts and Romans. I challenged myself to read a chapter in the Old Testament, 5 Psalms, a proverb, and a chapter in the New Testament. And I failed again. Was I trying to do too much? I would wake up and try to read early, but I had to go to work, so sometimes I would skip days. In the evening, I would be too busy doing my own things and then just fall into bed. I felt God challenge me again. He said, if you really love me, you will make time for me. I already had to be at work at 5:30 a.m. If I really wanted to spend uninterrupted time with God, that meant I would have to start getting up at 3 a.m. That meant I would have to go to bed at 8 p.m. That was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I got past the these and the thous, past the begets and the begots, past the struggle to stay awake. When my relationship with God became important enough, I made time for Him first. Before sports, before watching TV, before music, before friends. I figured out that God doesn't get mad when I skip a day, as long as I get going again. God changed me then, and He continues to change me now. I challenge you to read just 1 Psalm and 1 proverb every day, and just see if God doesn't change you and light a fire inside of you, if you don't give up.
Okay.